In this week's Torah portion, we learn about the very real dangers of jealousy. Shalom, my friends. This is Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. In this week's Torah portion, Korach, we begin by learning a very, very important story that shares with us a very, very important life teaching. Let's look at the story and then we'll get to the teaching. There's a man named Korach who he himself is a Levite, and he brings together a group of 250 people. And together they rebel against Moses and Aaron. What do they say to them? They say, Who are you? Who are you to take the positions of power? The two of you brothers. What is this, a family kind of scheme you're doing here? The two of you, two brothers, taking the two most important positions of leadership and power and influence in the entire nation. Moses, of course, the leader who took them out of Egypt and is bringing them to the Holy Land. And Aaron, who's the high priest, right? And they come up and they say, what is this? You know, you've taken so much for yourselves. And then they go on to say something interesting. They say, we're all holy. All of us are holy, right? Which kind of means that we were all studying at Mount Sinai. We all had that experience together. We're all the same level of holiness, right? Just like you. Let's break this down a little bit. First of all, they're coming to complain that Moses and Aaron took those leadership positions for themselves, as if they chose to have them. We know from a previous story in the book of Exodus that Moses wanted nothing of this leadership position. He tried to fight his way out of it, and God wouldn't hear it. God said, no, you are the chosen one. You are the one I'm choosing for this position. So it's not like they took anything. They were chosen by God and given these positions of power, leadership, and influence, right? Not that they took them for themselves. Number two, when Korach and his assembly of 250 people come and say the whole community is holy, it's a beautiful thing. There is some really deep truth to those words, but it seems a little bit conniving, like they're saying that as if they're saying that and then turning to the entire nation, right, of millions, and saying, we're doing this for you. Right? Well, our rebellion against Moses and Aaron is for you. It's not about us. It's not about, we have no personal problems. We're not jealous or anything like that. We're doing this for you because what's happening here is wrong. Right? They're kind of framing it to make it look like they're like the holy ones, the good ones. When really their intention, their entire motivation, especially Korach, who organized this whole thing, right, is guided by and influenced by straight up jealousy. Right? And it's an interesting thing too, as the story goes on, Moses gets really upset. There's a few times when Moses gets upset in the Torah at the nation of Israel, and there's a few times when God gets upset at the nation of Israel. But oftentimes what happens when God gets upset at the nation of Israel, Moses kind of comes in and defends him and says, no, tries, make a deal, and God always listens to Moses. Here, that's not what happens, right? Moses kind of is upset, God's upset, and they go right into a plan to show them, Korach and his assembly of 250 people, that they are absolutely wrong. And we know from this week's Torah portion, from the story, and as it unfolds, it is made clear to them through this test. I'm not going to go into the details. Look in the story for yourself. But there is a test that shows them who are the chosen ones of God, and that is clear that it's Moses and Aaron. And the assembly of Korach and Korach himself, they are punished. They are punished. They are punished with this unique form of death where the earth opens up and they're swallowed. They go in and the earth closes back up. And it's a really powerful story that really shows us this teaching of how dangerous jealousy could be, where jealousy could lead somebody, where jealousy could lead, somebody and a whole group of people, that it could really lead them down a very, very negative and destructive road. And it's a very powerful teaching for ourselves, right? There's a very important Hasidic Rebbe master from a couple hundred years ago who taught his students, someone has to be crazy to be jealous of somebody else, because God made each one of us with specific talents and abilities and skills and life situations and resources, right, in order to fulfill their purpose here in the world. So if somebody is jealous of somebody else, it's basically meaning, I don't want to be who God made me to be. I want to be who God made someone else to be, which is crazy, right? Simply because we can't. And that's not how it's meant to be. It's not how God created the world. And it's a very, very powerful teaching, right? That, instead of jealousy, we can turn that around. And then we can turn that into something totally different, like really, joy and happiness for somebody else's success and being inspired by their success to have our own successes. So really powerful story, really powerful life teaching embedded in it for us to take into our own lives. I hope you and I and all of us can take that into our lives and really improve our lives. And as a result, bring more of our essential and authentic selves out into the world. All the best and be well.